Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. I am a woman on a mission to help you get the Zettelkasten of your dreams on your work table beside you. We are in a series, View from the Boxes, where we take a look at the functioning of a Zettelkasten from the point of view of the physical objects that make up the Zettelkasten. Sometimes we have to cheat a little, but mostly we've been focusing on one box at a time. Well, today we're talking about the index, and we're talking about a question. Why do you want to keep an index? Well, you might say that's a silly question. It's totally obvious why you want to keep an index. You want to be able to look things up. True? Absolutely true. But if you do your index well, it can do a whole lot more for you than just looking things up. There's a whole bunch of issues that an index can take care of for you. For one thing, it can very, very strongly help you answer the question, where should I put my new card? Where does my new card go? If you followed the rabbit hole I went down yesterday, and I did warn you that it was a rabbit hole, then you got to see me actually placing a card using my index. That's a case of lookup, it certainly is. But if you watched that one, then you noticed that what was on my index entries wasn't just keywords. There were whole phrases that helped me understand, well, which card is where, not just what does it pertain to and where is it. You see, a traditional index is sort of like a research project shortcut. Say you look up a keyword like motivation. It might show you all the places in your Zettelkasten where you've used the word motivation. That's it, nothing more. Well, what did you have to say about motivation in those cases? Well, there's the addresses. Go look them up. Not my cards. Mine give you whole phrases that tell you how that word was used. And that'll give you a lot better insight as to whether that entry is worth noting, worth exploring, worth using as the parent of the card. You can get so much more out of a tagline. And since in general we look up things up to 10 times as many times as we write things, that means you get a lot of bang for your buck taking a little extra time putting that whole phrase into the index. We'll see some examples of that when we get to the how-to. But what else can you use an index for? Well, thanks to Julianne Scherer, I use my index to help me figure out whether or not I want to read a certain book or when I want to read a certain book that I hope to read someday. When we get to the how-to, I'll show you how that works. A Zettelkasten helps you understand what subjects you're really covering in some depth because we use a little rule of thumb that I think just about everybody who keeps an index uses this rule. I learned it from Scott Shepper, and I don't know anyone who doesn't use this rule, which is to say, when you start your index, you'll have a card for every letter of the alphabet. And then as you make your entries, some of your keywords will be used again and again. And there's generally a rule of threes. As soon as you have 3 on a card, it gets to be a card of its own. So because you can then scan through your index and see the cards that stand alone on their own merit, you can get a pretty good idea of which topics you're starting to cover well. And if you've got 2 and 3 separate index cards for that same topic, you know you've got some pretty good depth on it. So look at all the insights that you can get from an index. So why do you think you will want to keep an index in your Zettelkasten? Why don't you ponder it for a bit, maybe make a note in the comments, and we'll go on a bit further with this tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.